Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I want to talk about Yara Flor Wonder Girl, or as she was introduced in DC's Future State, the new Wonder Woman. As always, we'll start off by checking out the covers. To my right here I have the two issues of Future State Wonder Woman with these gorgeous covers by Jenny Frison, written and drawn by Joelle Jones with colors by Jordi Belair, and the same team continued in the Wonder Girl miniseries 7 issues before DC cancelled it altogether. Here I have the covers by Joelle Jones for the first 4 issues, and this series is so interesting as a case study. Following DC's Future State, the absolute star of that event was Yara Flor, by far the most popular character introduced. DC already had plans for a CW mini TV series, and it seemed like the character was already set up for great success. Well, the Wonder Girl miniseries started, and between the first and second issues, we already got hit with delays. Joelle Jones couldn't keep up with both art and writing duties, and starting with issue 2, she got help with the art, and by issue 4 here, she wasn't on the art at all. She also didn't do the covers. I have here the cover for issue 5, also done by Jenny Frison. Again, just absolute gorgeous stuff. Issue 6 here with a cover by Artgerm, and of course if you've seen any of my videos, I'm a huge fan of Artgerm. Check out my top 10 Artgerm variant covers, it's a really nice video. So as I mentioned, this is definitely a case study for how DC created one of their most important and popular characters in the past 5 years, and within a year, the first issue of Future State Wonder Woman came out in February. And DC cancelled the Wonder Girl miniseries in January. 1 full year, they absolutely ruined it. Definitely worth checking out. So issue 7 here with a cover by Totino Tedesco, and that was it for the miniseries. Although we also the miniseries got cancelled in January, and in August DC returned to Wonder Girl with this 2022 annual with a cover also done by Joelle Jones. Now, checking out the Future State 2-issue story arc, we can already see why Yara Flor was so popular from the beginning. Comics is a visual medium, and no matter how many times Marvel draws Carol Danvers as a little boy, characters like this will always find their audience. So while the art already guaranteed the character's popularity, the story inside kind of already showcased why the series could have some problems along the way. First off, the positives. I liked how Joelle Jones just introduced the character and didn't waste time with Yara's origins here. We just get to see her looking badass, being gorgeous, and just look at this. She's already up on a mission, and in this first story arc, Yara tries to go to the underworld to return with the soul of one of her friends, a fallen soldier of the Amazons, and we get introduced to some of the supporting characters. Here we have Jerry, her trusty Pegasus, and as the story arc continues, we'll see more. Like this little thing right here, really nice stuff. So Yara Flor trying to go to the underworld, and we already see what Joelle Jones is trying to do, inserting some of this modern humor. I mean, here we have the underworld looking like a terminal, and Yara and her friend just trying to speak to this little guy right here to get inside, and Yara just losing her temper. Again, trying to insert some humor, trying to show us what Joelle Jones wants to do with the series. I've seen some people online complain that this was, oh, look at me, so quirky kind of humor. It didn't feel like it to me. It wasn't annoying, but I guess I could see how some people could view it that way. Again, to me, it wasn't a problem. I actually enjoyed it. I mean, just look at this huge peril and Yara just tiptoeing around it. And it also showed us some character traits of Yara. We already see how impulsive she is. I mean, she couldn't hold on when it came with this little inconvenience and just wrecked it all. Again, really nice writing from Joelle Jones and really setting up what the series and the characters are all about. I mean, we can see it right here. So Yara and her friend arrive to the boat that would take them to the underworld, and the rule is you have to pay to go there. Now, Yara doesn't have any money with her, so she decides to steal this guy's coin. Of course, things don't go as planned. The guy definitely doesn't take it very lightly, and we kind of get to see how Yara, with her impulsiveness and brashness, wants to resolve her issues. Just kicking ass. And kind of making a mess of things. Just again, the art here, absolutely gorgeous stuff by Joelle Jones. Colors by Jordi Belair. Jordi Belair, of course, a mainstay at this point of the channel. I mean, I have reviews of The Nice House on the Lake, Black Widow, so many DC anniversary issues, and she's done them all. So Yara Flor resolving her problems with violence, which leads to even more violence. And again, man, comics are a visual medium. Look at this. I mentioned that the future state story arc already shows how the series could have some problems along the way, and we'll get to it. So Yara Flor arrives to the underworld. Again, everything looking gorgeous. She meets Hades, and while her first interaction with him doesn't go as planned, things change for the better for Yara, and Hades allows her a chance to rescue her friend, which he actually does. I mean, we see why her friend and how her friend died. And we see Yara succeeding in her mission, rescuing her from the underworld, from death. However, it was her destiny to be there. And in the end, we see Yara's success being very short-lived. And her friend actually remains dead. So Yara gets rescued from the underworld by her Amazonian sisters, and here is the main problem with the series, in that it doesn't know its own pace. It changes settings really, really fast. I mean, here we have Yara absolutely destroyed for losing her friend again, sobbing uncontrollably, and then Jerry comes, licks her a bit, and she starts laughing. And it's like, choose your tone. We'll see as the miniseries goes on. There are a lot of instances. One panel, she sobs and is absolutely destroyed. The next panel, she laughs. And it's like, come on, man. The good thing is, that's honestly the only negative I could say about Joelle Jones' work on Yara Flor, because as we move on to the Wonder Girl miniseries, I really liked it. So I praised the first story arc for not wasting time with Yara's origins. Well, we needed to get there eventually, and that's how the miniseries starts off, and as it moves along, we do get a lot of answers in regards to Yara and how she started and how she became Wonder Girl. But first, here we have Yara Flor arriving to the scene, and the entire DC universe feels it, takes notice. I really liked this double spread, really showcasing how important this character should have been to the entire DC lineup. Of course, they're not the only ones feeling Yara's arrival. The Amazons on Themyscira and on Bana Migdal, as well as the gods on Mount Olympus, feel it too, and they'll definitely take action. So, this whole mini-series introduces us to Yara Flor. Born in Brazil, she was raised in America, but here she travels back to Rio de Janeiro because she feels her close ties to those places. And as I've mentioned, her presence there is definitely felt, and we have both Themyscira and Mount Olympus, as well as the Amazons on Bana Migdal, trying to get to her because she doesn't know it yet, but of course she's very important. Well, basically to everything. So right from the first issue, we see Yara Flor being heroic, again, not really knowing it, and we get introduced to one of her love interests. We get this guy here, I'm not even gonna pronounce his name. And as I've mentioned, everyone is interested in Yara. And the first ones to get to her are the gods of Mount Olympus. Eros finds and ensnares. God, that's such a weird word. So Eros finds Yara and ensnares her in a hardcore way, man. I mean, just look at this. And again, here we see the same problem with the series. I mean, within a few hours, Yara met this dude and they start kissing and they just love each other. Everything is nice. Then Eros comes and just takes Yara away to Mount Olympus. And again, the change of tone within a single issue, it's so sudden and things are moving on so fast. Although this is a 7-issue story arc, they have enough time to tell this story. It feels rushed, although it's long enough. It's really weird. Again, setting the tone and keeping that tone, that's really a problem. the good thing is we get a lot of characters here. I mean, we have the original Wonder Girl, we have Artemis, we get a lot of cool stuff. Again, with both Amazon's tribes trying to get to Yara, but of course they're too late. She's already on Mount Olympus, already meeting Goddess Hera. So as I've mentioned, this whole story arc shows everyone interested in Yara Flor trying to find her, and the gods on Mount Olympus get to her first. Hera's plans for her being to make her her champion, her bodyguard, and as we could see, she had Eros help in that manner. Again, man, this is hardcore stuff. I can't get over this page here. So Hera wanted to make Yara her bodyguard, but of course that's not all to it, because there always needs to be a catch. So Yara Flor on Mount Olympus. And speaking of origins, here we see how she first met Jerry and how she got her trusty Pegasus. She's being trained. We see how she got her sword, and we see Hera trying to control things. Because not only does she want Yara as her bodyguard, by making it so, she will have trapped Yara on Mount Olympus. Yes, she does give Yara eternal life, but that comes with her being basically Hera's toy. And that's why the other Amazon groups are trying to get to our main character. So we have the Amazons on Themyscira, we have those on Banamigdal. We also get a new group from Brazil, the Amazons in the Amazon. And that's actually where Yara Flor comes from. Speaking of negatives, like I've said, the series doesn't know its tone, and we've seen how Yara first met Eros in that absolutely brutal way, how this guy just stabs her with one of his arrows. Well, here we have them up on a date, and Yara gets flustered, and again, it doesn't know what its own setting is. Is it a rom-com? Is it a love triangle? Just pick a side, man. It's really, really weird. There are a lot of good stuff in this mini-series. Really interesting origins for Yara. Really nice seeing past characters show up, but the problems in the story's tone are really annoying, and something that should have been resolved. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance for that. And it really is a shame, because everything else about the miniseries was great. I mean, the art, even if Joelle Jones couldn't keep up, the series still looked absolutely beautiful throughout. The action here, I mean, by the final issue, things get absolutely crazy. We have Zeus here throwing lightning bolts on the battlefield. We have Amazons from all over the world getting to Mount Olympus trying to rescue Yara Flor. And of course, we have Yara, such an interesting, such a fun, such a great character. Too bad DC couldn't keep up with the series, because as it moved along, I'm sure Joelle Jones could have solved the little issue with its pacing and with its tone, and I'm sure we could have gotten something really special here. I mean, again, just seeing all the characters, all the Amazons, all the Wonder Girls coming together here, it was so nice. Again, an absolute miss by DC and a real shame that we couldn't get more of this. I will also say though, this final page, a huge miss. This isn't it, man. I mean, the series started off absolutely gorgeous. It continued to be beautiful, but this right here, for a final page of the series, it's not it. But again, let that be the only negative, together with the tone. Everything else around the Wonder Girl, around Yara Flor, really great. I highly recommend you get the collected edition that has actually everything except the annual, and read it, and hopefully DC will return to the character. Okay, and that was it for my review on Yara Flor Wonder Girl. Again, DC and Joelle Jones starting off great, ending up on a whimper, as they did with Joelle Jones' run on Catwoman. If you want to see more about that, check out my review. It should be up on the screen. If not, it's definitely in the description of this video. If you enjoyed this, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I have a ton of comics reviews and I promise I will be doing more. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.